Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School. Today we're going to talk about Bona Fide. I don't think I've ever explicitly talked about it as a program, but we started Whiskey Sommelier or Whiskey Marketing School for training whiskey sommeliers in 2015. 10 years old, guys. We're 10 years old. And you know, it's been going great. We love it. We got a great community. It's doing everything we wanted it to do. And, but I needed the ADD, and I just can't stop. I know this drives people nuts, but I just can't stop peeling the whole thing off. Okay. I needed, for years, we were discussing, look, not everybody can or should pull a $2,000, $4,000 trigger to attend Whiskey Marketing School and the SOM program. It's just not feasible for everybody. But that's fine, because we're not trying to serve everybody. But what about all the people who love the YouTube channel or who love the community and would really love a little extra whiskey education? What can we provide for them? And my first problem was, man, that already exists. And do I really just want to add noise to the conversation? So EWA has got amazing online certifications because it needed to be something online. And then we're never going to do the SOM training program on the internet. We'll never do the SOM training program outside of this building. At least not as long as I'm in charge. EWA is a great program online, lots of certifications. Moonshine University and Bourbon Stave and Thief program, amazing online training components. Some of the WSETs, if you want to go that way, do online training components. There's a lot of great online training programs. So why create a new one? And so I didn't for years, like 8 years. I didn't even touch it because what's the point? I don't want to just add in another one because here's our branded version. But I realized there was an approach to it that we hadn't done, and I was trying to figure this out on a team, and it involved brainstorming, and it involved, if you watch my previous video, bad brainstorming. And actually, it might be next video, I don't remember which one, but I do a video on brainstorming. If you haven't seen it, you'll see it soon. I was sitting with the team trying to come up with a plan on why would we create an online program, because it's the fastest way to provide a resource for people who want to be connected but don't want to do the SOM school. So why? What matters? And what's the point? And we sat at Devil's River in San Antonio, Texas, in their tasting room. And me and Zach and Dave sat around the table with whiskey trying to figure out why and what. And I was like, guys, I need you to solve this because I've been trying to figure it out for years and I don't have a solution. And they sat and were like, what about? And I just kept shooting everything down. For about a half hour, I just shot every idea down. And then Zach goes, fine, you figure it out. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Now you know how I feel because I've been struggling with this idea for years and I don't have a solution. And we were sitting there quietly. I just realized I cut my thumb, which is exactly why I try to peel those things off on the foil from that stupid bottle. All right. Dave starts laughing to himself in the corner. Oh, man. And we looked at it, I was like, what? And he goes, you know who nobody has certified or created a program for to certify them? I was like, who? And he goes, enthusiasts. Who said they could like whiskey? Who gave them permission to like whiskey? How dare they just decide they like whiskey? They're not certified for that. And we all started laughing because that's absurd. But that's so Wizard Academy ridiculous that immediately we were all like, oh my gosh, that's it. We need to create a program that's only purpose is not to serve industry people, it's to serve whiskey nerds who want just a little more education and a little more knowledge around their drinking so that they kind of know what they're experiencing. And no one's really created a program only for that. It's all tailored to industry people or industry professionals or real like aficionados, right? But no one's certified enthusiasts. And Dave was like, yeah, we're gonna create a program where we certify enthusiasts. You're not allowed to be a whiskey enthusiast unless you're bona fide. Yeah, and the tagline he said was, yeah, sure, you like whiskey, but are you bona fide? And it's so dumb. It's amazing. It's so brilliant at the same time. And then I'll tell you how we created it after that. So Glenfiddich 19. There were several editions of this that were focused. Some were wine cask. This one specifically is the Bourbon Barrel Glenfiddich 19, aged exclusively in bourbon barrels. And I think Glenfiddich is one of the great whiskeys, and I think it's underappreciated for its budget and its proof and its price point, although these days it's expensive. But it's not entirely Glenfiddich's fault. Oh man, I love the nose already. It's just everything you wanted from a bourbon barrel focused scotch. It's malt, musty, grain bin, cellar funk. It's sweet orange zest and citrus. It's floral, almost like dense flower, but like greenhouse floral, not like a bouquet floral. Perfume, vanilla. The nose is great. There's a lot going on in that nose. And my memory is that, I never remember to bring my glasses over here, 43.6%. It's a very low proof for, this much of a drama in the nose. But it's very orange zest, citrus, floral. Not a lot of oak yet. Oh, very soft palate. Honey cream, little orange spritz, and then whew, gone. The lingering aftertaste is a kind of clinginess that's not oil, but it sort of like clings to the palate. Second, it's a little bitey, a little bit oak, a little bit dry. A little bit of black pepper gets added into that palate. It's very nice. I really like this one. It's not cheap, but man, is it a good scotch. Glenfiddich. Well executed. Okay, so Bona Fide. What I wanted to do was create a program, and we sat down and brainstormed this whole thing. I wanted to create a program where at the end of it, you actually understood the fundamental categories and basics of how whiskey's made, where and countries and style guides. And now, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I've been working my way through production process. A lot of the videos I've been putting on this YouTube channel are just being pulled from information in the Bona Fide program. If you're that much of a nerd, you can just go back and watch all my nerd videos in order, and you'll get a lot of the Bona Fide program just from these episodes. But I wanted to do an online education that was a reasonable price point. I think we have it like $149 or $150. And then we created the Texas one, which we're gonna have to update very soon. And I wanted people to be able to walk away, because as I've talked about on this channel, the more you understand about production, the more you appreciate what you're finding in the glass. You're able to see it. You're able to go, oh, fermentations produce this. You're right, I smell it. Oh, oak produces these things. You're right. That's why it smells like. And you're able to trace all these things, and it totally opens up your world of drinking and nosing and tasting. Very few things other than practice will make you a better nose and taste, deductive taster of whiskey than understanding whiskey production and fundamentals and country styles and things like that. I know it's one nerd talking to maybe nerds and not nerds, but like nothing will make you a better taster faster than understanding the production process. Nothing. Even practice builds on top of that, right? Because you got to know what it is you're looking for when you're creating your reps, right? So we sat down and created an entire outline of the entire whiskey process and all the fundamental base categories of countries and everything. And then I sent it to all of my whiskey nerd friends, Reed Huddleston, SOMs and level 4s and training people, distillery owners. I even sent it to my friends at Stave and Thief at Moonshine U and was like, hey, we're creating an online program. I know, and this is the beauty of the education community that we're connected with. That could be viewed as competition, right? But no, they're like distillers, which is like, hey, we're trying to create this resource for this very specific reason. Would you take a look at this and make sure we're not putting out fake information into the internet? And everybody spent about a month, and then my dad went through it for like copy editing, and then I shot all the videos, which was a pain in the butt. But we shot them all. And then we created this thing, and then this is the real part of it. What I didn't want people to walk away from the online program with was this idea that the purpose of whiskey is to know whiskey facts. It's not. The purpose of whiskey is people. We talked about this, right? And so I created a quiz where every section you end, you have to answer some questions about that segment to make sure you watched and understood it. But we always ask the same question at the end of every segment. When do I use this information? And the answer is always, never unless asked. Never unless asked. Because this nerdy stuff is not the point of whiskey. And then we ended with a whole segment on how to do tastings with friends and guided experiences and things like that. I'm very proud of the Bona Fide program. And when you graduate it, you get a Bona Fide card. Holy crap, I think I actually have mine on me. Let's see. I do. When you finish the program, you get a Bona Fide card. I'm going to hold right here. And it's no joke. It's solid metal. Because that was also ridiculous. And it was part of the joke was like, it's going to be so absurd that you get a bona fide whiskey enthusiast card to prove that you're bona fide, and it's numbered, and you get a certificate. And that's just hilarious to us. And we came up with all these ridiculous, absurd things that happen to you because you have a bona fide card. Like, I went to check in for my flight, and they asked me if I wanted to fly the plane. I went into a restaurant, and they escorted me back to the kitchen and introduced me to the chef. And yeah, like, just totally absurd things that make us all laugh. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Internet. If you ever wanted to take the Whiskey Somm program, which the next one's in July, Whiskey Level 1, and $4,000 is a big trigger pull, we have a thing at Wizard Academy called alumni pricing, which is if you're one of us, then all your classes are half off. And that includes the Whiskey School. Taking the Bona Fide program makes you an alum and gets you half off of all classes. You can spend $150 to become Bona Fide, and it'll knock $2,000 off of your price for Whiskey Level 1. I said it, it's out there, it's in the internet, it's in the world. What are you gonna do? Regardless, it was a fun program. We later created the Texas version. And the Texas version is all the same Bona Fide program, and then we added another dozen plus videos specifically focused on the Texas whiskey industry. And you get a whole separate card, the Texas Bona Fide card, and because it's hilarious. Anyway, cheers to you. I hope that's valuable. I would love to see you in the Bona Fide program. I'd love even more to see you in Whiskey Level 1 sometime this year or next year. Cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here. Like and subscribe and get bona fide. We're gonna rhyme it with the things, because that's how you get people to do things. Childlike poetry.